Hi there, it's Jeff. Well, I just finished making this custom wall-mounted mirrored frame. It's for my living room in here inside above my fireplace. And that's the beauty of DIY. You can make things to suit yourself or your own place or area where you might need to make a certain frame. So this project is ideal if you want to make your own custom sized mirrored frame. So keep watching and I'll show you how to make this DIY frame step by step in your backyard using just basic materials. Okay, to start off with, we've got our strips here. I'm just using some MDF that I've pre-cut to size. You can make this whatever size you want for to suit your frame. I have my measurements here, which are the internal measurements of my wall frame that I have, and I've got to subtract that later on, which I'll go through. So I'm going to use my little trusty router table here. You can see me adjusting the adjustable fence here in line with the ball bearing of the round over bit. This is the easiest and safest way to do so because all we want to do is just have a little round over on that molding when it's finished. So you can see me adjusting this. I'm just doing the height. We just, like I said, I just want a little round over, and I'll pass my strips through this router table first. Next, we need to machine a rebate in our strips. This is to accommodate for the substrate backing board that your mirror will eventually glue onto. So here I've got an off-cut piece of that. It's around about 10 mil or 3/8. And you can see me adjusting my saw blade, the height to roughly the thickness of this board. So that gives me a reference, or it sets us up to machine into those strips that I've just made. Okay, so I've got the saw set up to run my first pass in my strips there. So it's a matter of just feeding it through up against the fence. I've actually got some guides there just to keep it pushed up against the fence as I guide it through. It's a little bit safer and just stops it from the strip from running out. So once I've passed this first saw cut run through, you can move the fence over, moving it in 3mm increments, which is roughly the thickness of the blade, and run a few more passes, and then it's a matter of flipping it over, as you can see in this picture there, and then just running it through, trimming it off to finish with your rebate. There's the finished strips there with the rebate, and I've just put that off-cut piece of board, which is going to represent my back substrate. Just make sure it sits in there and it fits nice and flush. Okay, now it's time to make our mirrored frame with those moldings, and you're going to need a decent miter saw for this. So I like to start off with just cutting one end at 45 degrees, so that's our starting point. And then I put that onto the table. I put the tape measure on the end of that, and I measure the total external length that of one end of my frame should be. So I have my measurements there, which you'll see, and I basically made my frame to sit inside on my wall there, 100 mils in on both ends, so it gives me a nice 100 mil border. So that's what I'm basically doing here. using my measurements and cutting 2 external miters. And then to do the opposite end, I clamp them together so it becomes a point on the other end, and then mark off my first molding that I did to exact size, as use that as a reference. It's the easiest way to do this when you are making a mitre frame. This could be for a picture frame as well. It's the same method that I use for that. Yeah, basically making one to the exact size and using it as a reference to mark your other ones, because you want them to be the exact size. So here you can see 2 finished pieces. This could be an end or a top, it doesn't really matter, but you get the idea. Basically, you put them together and they should form a point, and that's going to be exact same measurements. Okay, so once you've cut all your pieces, it's time to glue up the, put them into make them into a frame. Now I like to use this quick step glue. It's Sedal brand. I'll leave a link there for you, but not advertising for this brand or anything. But it's basically super glue, and you spray and you put super glue on one end, as you can see, and then you spray the activator on the other. And once they come together, they stick. I just apply a little bit of a pressure for maybe 5-10 seconds, but basically, once you stick them together, they stay. So I always use this sort of method when I'm making mitered frames on picture frames or anything like this. Even when I did wainscoting on my walls inside the house, I used this method, made complete frames, and then nailed them onto the wall. It's the easiest way. Otherwise, you've got to leave them in some sort of a frame. If you're using PVA glue, overnight. But this just basically does it instantly. You've just got to make sure that all your ends are flush. You've got a little bit of wiggle room, but I like to make my frame in this raw state first, and then you can go along and sand it later on. The tricky part is when you've got the last miter to do, because it's made basically almost into a frame, and they want to that last miter wants to stay together. I use a little clamp on a bench just to separate it while I apply the glue, as you can see, and then carefully stick these together, making sure I line up the corners and make sure the top is flush. So you've got a little bit of wiggle room once it is done like this, because you can sand the top or the ends before you paint it. But if you are using pre-painted molding, then it's going to be a little bit more tricky. But here's the finished result. And then once I've done that, I will measure the internal measurements in my rebate of the frame. It's just turned upside down now, so you're looking at the back of the frame. And I'm just getting the measurements down. And next I will cut a bit of that board that you saw last time. It was around about 10mm MDF board. I will be cutting that to suit my newly made rebate there, and that needs to fit nice and snug on the inside of that molding. I happen to have a full sheet. It was basically a cover sheet from when I bought some board once before, so I had to basically cut a piece off this full sheet. So here you're going to see me setting up just to cut it with my little track saw, and then into a manageable piece to fine tune it on my table saw. Okay, once you've cut your backing board, it's important that it's cut to the right measurements, and it's also square. So here you can see me checking it diagonally, making sure it's within a millimeter tolerance, somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but If your mitered frame is not square, then this will actually help pull it into place. And if not, you can do a little bit of adjustments. But here you see me applying some just some PVA glue for this one. Just putting it all nicely into that rebate just with a brush, and then I'm going to drop that backing board into this rebate. Okay, my backing board sits into that rebate of the frame, nice and snug. And now I've grabbed all of my adjustable clamps that I had in the workshop, and I'm going to use these all around the outside just to clamp it up, just keep pressure from that backing board onto the molding that I've just done. And I'll make sure it sits all there nice and flush, and leave that basically overnight on the bench. Okay, here you can see I've got the frame flipped over. This is the front side that you see, and it's important to remove any excess glue, otherwise it could bleed through after when you go to paint this frame. So I've left around about a 5mm edge sticking up. You can make this to suit yourself, but I'm going to be using a beveled edge mirror when I put it in there, so it's going to have a nice effect. After this, I basically painted the frame and siliconed the mirror onto the substrate, and then hung the whole frame up on the wall. Here you can see the finished result. So I hope you liked this video, you got something out of it, and if you did, press like. Don't forget to share with your friends and subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you in one of my next videos.